Good evening and welcome to 360 Wellness. I'm your host, Andrea Barrett, and today we're talking about one of the senses that often gets overlooked, the nose. Join us this evening as we speak to Tracy Pepe, owner of The Scented Lair. Stay tuned. So, we know about our senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, but often overlooked is the sense of smell. Not tonight. Tonight we're joined by Tracy Pepe, owner of The Scented Lair, who will talk to us about essential oils and the importance of the scents and how they impact us physically and emotionally. And she is also a published author, so she'll tell you more about her upcoming book. Hi Tracy, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Andrea. How are you?
Good. Very nice to see you. And I also want everyone to know Tracy is a fellow Bramptonian. If you're in Brampton, and you know, a show we did a few weeks ago, we talked about some of the great vendors at the downtown Brampton Farmers Market. Tracy is one of those fantastic vendors who we need to support. If you're in Brampton or need something to do on a Saturday morning, we encourage you to come to the Brampton Farmers Market and please come and visit Tracy's booth. So Tracy, tell us about yourself and how you got started in your business.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So I am a perfumer actually by trade. I've been in the industry for about 30 plus years, and I scent hotels, I scent condos, have a unique business. I'm very niche. I'm one of 8 in the world. And I moved to Brampton about 3 years, my studio, and I opened up this little boutique downtown. And what makes me really unique as a perfumer is I specialize with essential oils. I do use some synthetics because there's some raw materials we can't get. But the difference is I don't work with alcohols or solvents. And I started to realize there was a customer base of people wanting to trust where we get our oils from, and we buy direct. And then we started to work with, I think you've met Althea at the market.
Yes, we did.
She is a lovely lady who specializes in shea butter, and she buys oils from me. And what would happen is she makes, and so we started to sell her products. And then we met another lady in Brampton who makes amazing bath bombs, and she buys our oils and comes up with these great, so we started to sell her products. And then we have a beekeeper, and it just started to grow of a network of women in particular, of individuals who do what they love, who are very conscious about their work, and wanted to do something working with really good raw materials. And so this is kind of the story. And what ended up happening is we partner, and so we support each other. So she was at the market when she met you. We've just kept going. Now, prior to this world that I have lived in, obviously COVID hit, but I had a location at Pearson International.
Okay.
And I lost it. I lost the whole thing at COVID. And my hotels have almost been all shut down. Wow. So I have been pivoting. And in that pivot, I decided to really focus on something that we focus on with when we scent a space, the impact on mental health. And there's a personal story with my son, but I kind of just thought I have to kind of go back to the roots of why I do what I do, knowing your why.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, take me back to the beginning. You're a perfumer. You said one of 8 in the world. You're the first one that I've come across. How did you get into this career?
So there's millions of perfumers in the world, but the type of work that I do where I scent spaces, and I am really known as a scent designer. It started quite a while ago, and I was working, and a customer contacted me. He was an architect, and he was building an office space in downtown Toronto, and it was back in the 80s. And the client had heard about some research, because there's one thing about my industry, there's I mean, hundreds of thousands of research reports on how scent impacts our mind, how it's scientific. It is helps with depression, anxiety. It makes you feel better. It helps you with creativity. It helps you with sleeping. There's so many. It's not. I don't want to do the folk medicine, but it is really scientific driven. So companies are very interested in this. And so I was reached out and I was asked if I could do a custom fragrance for this large corporation. And I did. And it was 9 years. And it was McDonald's head office on Winford Drive.
Okay. I know where their head office is. Good for you.
That was one of our first projects. And then from there, we have done all kinds of different projects. And then I got into the creative and the artistic aspect of it because I really love blending. And I scented Nuit Blanche in Toronto. I've done some wonderful exhibits here in Brampton. I did an event called Euphoria at PAMA. And what these are opportunities for consumers to go into a space and to experience how scent can make you feel magical. And some retailers do it and it's overpowering. Some fragrances give you headaches. Some people feel sick. I wanted to show them how it's really done. And that's why I can say I'm one of 8 in the world that does this, because we actually know how to scent 1 million square feet. And we've been doing it for decades and nobody's ever gotten sick.
Wow.
And so it's a science aspect to it. So part of this comes from also that my son is on the spectrum. He has ADD, ADHD, has a learning disability. He's 30 now, but when he was diagnosed at 5, we had really no suggestions other than medication. And as much as I appreciate medication for some situations with mental health, I didn't feel comfortable with a 5-year-old just giving him meds to go to school. It didn't seem logical. I have an older sister who's bipolar, and my dad had depression. And so I've lived with mental health all my life, and I've known long enough to know that medication is part of a therapy, but it is not the cure to anything. And I knew my son was never broken. And so I kind of pushed hard against that direction. And what I did do is I dove into the research, and Adrienne used essential oils or smells as a form of cognitive learning, as part of training. We did diet. Diet was a huge part of it, massive part. We did physical exercise. He was a Cobra swimmer. He swam probably 6 to 8 hours a day.
Wow.
He had so much energy.
Great.
Go in the pool in the morning and then he would sleep. And all these tools we learned. We learned how to really define a healthy, robust lifestyle for him so that he could balance and learn how to function. And now he's getting married. Quite proud of him. He has a beautiful job, nice fiance.
Great.
And he has used medication in the past because there has come times where he's had to. But he learned it was not going to fix him. And that's the message I really wanted to teach my son. So I did a TED Talk about 3 years ago, and I spoke of my journey as a mom. And then I started to realize how many people in the world have had this problem where they've lost their sense of smell from COVID.
Right.
Because COVID hits your central nervous system and you lose your sense of taste. And millions of people have no treatment because steroids do not work. And smell learning or smell training is an effective, scientific, proven therapy that will teach you how to get your sense of smell back.
Smell learning and smell training?
Yep.
Okay, now that's fascinating, because I was telling Kenny that I can't imagine losing my sense of smell or sense of taste. You walk into a kitchen, you smell mom's cooking, grandma's cooking. You know, they say when you walk into open houses in real estate, you know, you're supposed to put cinnamon in the oven or bake some cookies to get that nice, warm, homey smell. I can't imagine how it feels to not be able to enjoy that smell of something you enjoy, or even the losing your taste buds. It's but you're saying you can. There's training where you can get this. You can regain this.
Yeah, so to the biggest impact, first of all, when someone has lost their sense of smell or sense of taste, they're downplayed by their medical profession because they didn't lose their life,
Okay.
because COVID is so serious. So it's, oh, don't worry about it, it should come back.
Right.
Which is not a great approach, because 85% of the people who have lost their sense of smell, they're going to be, they're prone to depression. And so we have a bigger problem that is now going to be facing people who have experienced loss of taste and smell. The other problem is people don't know the level, because it's asymptomatic, how much of their sense of smell and taste they actually have lost. So what does trigger it for them is taste, because 5 taste buds usually indicate whether you can smell sugar or taste sugar or sweets or whatever. However, you cannot get your sense of taste back until you get your sense of smell back. And what I'm discovering in this process, as I've been working with individual people, they have no idea how much their sense of smell has gone, because they never really focused on it. We don't even smell our coffee before we drink it anymore. We don't go grocery shopping and pick up a peach and smell the peach. Yeah. We don't buy meat anymore, or fish. We don't use our sense of smell. And the problem with all of this is we've become a scent society, or a society where no smell is better. I don't know where that theory came from. And really and truthfully, and it's a theory of mine, but depression, mental health has skyrocketed in the last 20 years.
I would agree with that.
And so the connection with not engaging with your sense of smell and taste has really left a lot of people almost in a void. And so this became a question for me: how do I kind of reach people on the basics? And then I realized nobody really knows how to smell. I was trained. I've trained my kids because they were my children, but most people don't know. So one of the things I want to do is I want to walk you through some techniques.
Okay.
So your viewers know how to do this if they choose to do it. And I'm different with my training. I did not create a magic in a bottle, okay, that you have to buy something from me. You can do this with essential oils. You can do them with herbs in your garden, or you can do this with dried plant raw materials, teas, whatever. My idea was, if I was thinking I'm from a very wealthy country, I have all the tools in front of me, I'm blessed with so much. What happens if you lived in India in a small rural area and you didn't have access to some of the things? How do you get your sense of smell back? So I wrote the book for people all over the world, because the raw materials are all over the world. And so I'm trying to teach people it is really simple. It is not complicated. And first of all, don't be afraid of it.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is you need a glass. And the reason why you need a glass is a glass has what we call a bowl in it. And this bowl allows you to smell isolated scents, okay? And if you had 4 of these on your bed, at your bedside, on a plate, and you took, I'm gonna take an essential oil, okay? And in my book, and the book is, there's a workbook that is free on my website.
Okay.
And there are 20 oils that we recommend, and these oils are based on the science. And if you don't have the oils, you can have the plants. So for example, rosemary oil. Rosemary herb grows in pots. You can cook with it. People love the smell of it. It's beautiful, it has camphor. However, you can use the essential oil.
Okay.
You can buy the essential oil in a drugstore, a health food store. You can pick it up in local markets, depending on where you live, because these raw materials come from different parts of the world. So I really want to connect people that it's not a bottle or a premix or a cure. It's not a cure. What it is it's a training. And what it's doing is it's firing up your brain, and it's like it's a therapy.
Okay, therapy, nose
Yeah,
therapy,
nose
scent
therapy.
therapy. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, scent
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
So what we do is we take the glass and you would put 2 drops inside the glass, swirl it around, and then you do what is called they're bunny sniffs. They're little sniffs.
Bunny sniffs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
I'm gonna pretend this is my glass. So I'm gonna go.
yeah, just little sniffs. And when you do that, what you're doing is the synapses in your brain, which are these wonderful little connectors, they look like this indirectly, they fire up and they turn on. And what you're doing is you're training your brain and you're turning on sections, because we all know there's so many parts of our brain that is just not, we can't understand it.
Right.
And scent immediately does this in less than a second. This is the most powerful thing. It's
Well, just
non-invasive.
turn on your brain. Turn on parts of your brain.
Turns on parts of your brain. It's usually in the frontal area. And this helps to work on your central nervous system, which where COVID unfortunately impacts. Now, if you haven't had COVID and you are a lucky individual who is not dealing with it, what we are dealing with are face masks. And
Yes.
face masks can feel very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And so you can take a drop of peppermint or lavender, put it inside the mask, and smell that during the day.
That's a great idea. Great idea. Everyone wearing masks out there, and that's most of us. Tracy suggests get some essential oil, put a drop
Lavender,
of it. Lavender is
peppermint.
great.
Yep.
I may be the only person in the world that doesn't like lavender.
No, there's a lot of people. That's why I said peppermint. Eucalyptus is
peppermint
another one.
is great. Yeah.
Spearmint.
Or ylang ylang. I like.
Ylang ylang is used. Ylang ylang is an oil used a lot for anxiety.
I
So
like the way
here
that
is the
smells.
thing that
Yeah.
with mental health with children, they're going back to school. We've got new backpacks, we've got new lunches, but we haven't really prepared them for their mental health. And this is going to be really overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
So empower them with a superpower, literally, and put a drop of lavender and tell them what it is, or let them pick out the essential oil. Let them smell some essential oils and choose the oil. And what that will do is when they smell it, there's a reassurance. There's a psychology of this. This is something my mom did for me. It's a safety. It's really important. It's something so simple. I used to do this with my son because he used to get bullied quite a bit. And we used to put drops of essential oils on cotton balls, and he would keep the cotton balls in his pocket.
Nice.
And when the kids used to pick on him and he used to feel overwhelmed, scared, he would put his hands in his pocket and he would smell the cotton ball. And it was almost, he could hear messages from me. You'll be
Nice.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And really and truthfully, that's what we need. We need to be believed in.
We do. That is great. I like that story. I have a question about oils. Are all oils equal? So you just gave us some suggestions on where we can purchase oils, and I would like to suggest people also remember the Scented Lair. That's where Tracy is. That's her business. But oils range different prices. Is it a matter of you get what you pay for, buyer beware? Is it marketing, packaging, and branding, or is it truly quality?
There's a variety of things that make it really difficult for a consumer. I'll tell you what is true, and then the consumer can do process of elimination.
Okay.
There's no such thing as an organic essential oil, so do not pay the marketing.
Okay,
It is
I want to hear that one more time. There's no such
no
thing.
such thing as an organic essential oil. There's no standard.
Okay.
There may be producers who follow those claims on their own. There may be, but the food industry has a totally different standard over organics, and nobody else really follows it. And so there are no claims, there are no industry standards. Canada, Health Canada, IFRA, Europe, nobody follows it. So the claim is not proven. And the reality is, when it's dealing with a scent, you can't tell the difference.
Okay.
And I would test any consumer on an organic and non-organic. And I get a lot of emails and people can't believe
Yeah.
there is no organic.
Okay.
Lots of claims, but no organic.
Okay.
The second thing is packaging is a really good indicator for anybody. You want a childproof cap with a dropper because if it is a pure essential oil, it's going to be a liquid, not an oil. There should be no fattiness in the oil. So if you get it and you can put it directly on your skin, that's an indicator that it's been diluted with something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Pure essential oils are like watery, they're liquidy. There are some absolutes that are waxy, but the majority of them are liquid. So there should be a dropper inside. There should be a childproof cap, and the bottle should be either blue, green, or brown. And the reason for that is the light will destroy the essential oil.
Okay.
Okay, so those are now your packaging. So right off the bat, you'll be able to look at the packaging. If it's in a plastic bottle, don't buy it.
Okay.
The size does matter because essential oils are highly concentrated and less is more.
Yes.
And so 5 mil, 10 mil, 15 mil are the average size. So if you find a deal on Amazon of 100 mils for $10, that says something.
Run.
So that's where you have to pay attention.
Okay.
Okay. Fragrance oils are not essential oils.
Okay.
And there's a difference because a fragrance oil is a synthetic version. It can have some naturals in it, but a fragrance oil is designed differently. An essential oil usually is an essential oil that comes from the plant.
And a fragrance oil will be cheaper. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
Fragrance oils are more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, so people think because it's more expensive, it is a better quality, it must be real, and that is not true at all.
Okay.
Okay, so price varies. No essential oil should be priced across the board. I was in Shoppers Drug Mart recently, and they had a display of essential oils, and their prices ranged from $5 or $6 to $30. That's accurate. That's the way, because they come from different parts of the world, different suppliers, and different demand. You have to think of wine. I love using wine as an example.
Okay.
Because you can get a bottle of wine from France, Bordeaux, 2015, and you can pick it up in the vintage store for $16, $17. It does not have to be expensive.
Right.
But it's fabulous. And it's dynamic because you know what you're looking for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go out into the liquor store and you can buy a big box of wine from Ontario or from wherever, and it's $30 and it's a box wine. You're still gonna get drunk from both bottles, from both wines.
Yes, you are.
Right? But the experience between the two are totally different.
Yes.
So that's how to buy essential oils. Another way with essential oils is really know the origin that the essential oil is from. I do recommend people going on my YouTube channel. I have about 150 different essential oil videos that are between 1 minute and 5 minutes.
Okay, great.
You about oils, where to buy them, how to be a better consumer.
Tell us the YouTube channel so we can support you.
It's The Scented Lair.
Okay.
And if you type in The Scented Lair, we've been all through the pandemic. I have been uploading videos and trying to help people. The other thing is, please don't ever use them in an internal application.
Essential oils.
Yeah. It is a no-no.
So now, Tracy, there I want to ask you. I've attended workshops and I've been on websites and I've heard people say if you're making, like say, scented water, or you're making, you just want to, juju the water, some basil, some cucumbers, and a few drops of orange or lemon essential oil. You're saying absolutely not.
No, and I'll tell you why. There's 3 reasons. The first reason is the essential oil is going to sit on top of the water.
Yeah.
Because the essential oil is not going to mix within water. It has to have a humectant. It has to have an alcohol solvent. It has to have something to move into it. So the problem is if you take a drink, you're going to get the whole amount. It's not going to be in the water.
Right.
The second problem with that is it's not infusion. There is no infusion. When you put your cucumbers in your water, when you're putting your limes in your water, you're getting an infusion. That is a different drink. It's a different experience. You're getting the essential oils, you're getting the fruit, you're getting all the elements of the plant.
Right.
Okay. And the third thing is when the essential oil hits about here in the body, the gastric juices destroy it. So you might as well take $20 bills and just burn them. Because it's never getting into your body. Your body can't absorb the benefits that you're going to be consuming, because our this acids in our stomach are so strong compared to an essential oil. Essential oils are very volatile. They get destroyed. So will you get harmed? No. Would you get hurt in any way? Would it cause any problems? No, not in that, but there's no point to it. And I don't know one chef in the world that would ever use an essential oil versus the plant.
Okay, right. Okay, that would make sense. Okay, I hope everyone heard that message. No internal consuming of essential oils. And Tracy gave some great suggestions on what we should look for. Should you be buying your essential oils in a clear glass bottle? No. In a plastic bottle? No. Should you be buying organic essential oil? Tracy says organic essential oils don't exist. It sounds like a lot of marketing and hype. Hearing this conversation, I'm trying to think of what my favorite smells are, my favorite scents. Can you tell us, Tracy, what your 2 favorite essential oils are? Right now, anyways, maybe it changes from time to time.
It's actually quite funny because every time we have this conversation with Althea, every time you talk about whatever oil of the day is her favorite oil. And she always laughs at me because I don't. I have 2 essential oils that are my favorite. The first one is called Labrador tea.
Labrador tea?
It's known as Greenland moss.
Okay.
It comes from the north of Canada. It is what the polar bears walk on.
Okay.
So you can put that in context. It is very earthy. The indigenous community from the north use it as part of their prayer, their meditation. Some indigenous communities use white cedar or as a smudge.
Yes.
Greenland moss is the same. And why I love this oil is when I smell it, my mind calms down almost immediately. It's a meditative state for me. It's one of my favorite oils. I can actually, in my eyes, see the northern lights. It's just so interesting. And every time I smell it, it smells different and it's unique. And I think of these big, massive polar bears. So that's the first one. The second one would probably be jasmine. And jasmine as an absolute is extremely expensive, extremely rare. But 1 drop of jasmine oil in a diffuser mixed with, say, ylang ylang or some lavender, for people with anxiety, depression, any kind of overwhelming feelings, claustrophobia, and I've gone through this because I've had a very obviously challenging time with COVID and losing a big portion of my business. This just helps me get to the next day.
Right.
And one of the reasons I looked at the research, jasmine is the similarities of jasmine are to morphine, if you're going to put it on a chemical spectrum to the brain.
Really?
Yes.
Similar to morphine. Okay.
So morphine relaxes you and it puts you in a zone. Jasmine does the same thing. And I know it's expensive, but I have found it is worth every penny.
It probably is.
I mix it. I only add a drop or 2, and then I add other oils to it. But sometimes with COVID, I have found the mental health overwhelming, and I have just needed a time to relax, disconnect, get off the Zoom calls. You know, we've all gone through this. I'm no different than anybody else. And so this is one of the ways that I've done it. So I have found those are my 2 oils. One to ground me when I'm creative and I get all kinds of really interesting ideas. I have to calm it down. And the other one to just help me kind of let go of what I was afraid of or thinking of.
I think this is so interesting. Just hearing you speak about these oils is making me just feel so much calmer. And I hope that everyone's getting a lot of value out of this. Tracy, if you can tell us your website and tell us about the book. I want our viewers to
yes.
support you. I know you have a great book that's just come out, and I think it's at a super low, amazing price. So I think everyone should go out and download a copy of this book. So tell us the
Yes.
website and how we can get a copy of this book.
So the book is called Why the Nose.
Why the
and
Nose?
It's $2.95. It is
Only
not-
$2.95?
It's only $2.95. It's an ebook,
Yeah.
and it's on Kobo.
Okay.
And it can be downloaded in 73 different languages. And the
Nice.
reason I did an ebook is because I wanted accessibility to as many people as possible. If you go on my the website that is the publisher, which is smellingpink.ca,
Smellingpink.ca.
pink.ca, that has all the information on the book. It also has the scent training workshop, and that is a PDF that you can download yourself, and then you can do the training. The training is designed over 20 weeks. We
Okay.
break down 4 fragrance families, and we up into 5 different types of essential oils each week, and that's how you get the 20 cents. I had a Brampton carpenter make me this lovely
Wow.
Douglas fir kit,
Nice.
and we put all the oils in the kit. The kit is available on the website. If people want to purchase my oils, we do sell them.
Okay.
My store, we sell them as well. However, we also work with people who have their own oils, because my objective really is to help you get your sense of smell and to use this in a more effective way, especially understanding how to get your sense of smell. It is fabulous to work with a child, because children have a very in tune sense of smell. And if you smell, for example, lime, and you can't really smell it, but the child smells it, they're going to tell you, oh, that smells like lime jelly beans
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to identify with it much quicker, and that will help you, because knowing how much. We also offer a free scent test. If you think you've lost your sense of smell and you want some direction, you just send me an email, and you can send me an email at nose@scentedlair.com. And if you do that, what will happen is just say, I'd like a free scent test, and we will mail you out 4 scents in the kit, and you should be able to identify these smells. And if you can't, and you call me or email me, then I can reference what you're not smelling.
Okay.
And then I can help you. But it's very hard to talk to someone, A, of the language with olfaction,
Yeah.
B, to try to understand what they're smelling if I can't work with them.
Right.
So it's a sniff test.
I think this is great. So you are offering a free scent test. Can you tell us your email address one more time? Because this is a great
Sure.
opportunity.
It's nose, NOSE, at Scented Lair, SCENTEDLAIR.com. And that is my company, Scented Lair.
I love that. Nose@scentedlair.com. If you think you're having trouble with your sense of smell, reach out to Tracy, and she will send you a scent test, a free scent test, to help you figure out if you're missing anything. Tracy, this has been very interesting. You know, you think you know a little bit about something when really you know nothing about nothing. I learned a lot about this, and I'm going to come and visit you at the Scented Lair, and
Excellent.
of course at the Brampton's Farmers Market. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would like to encourage everyone, please, if you're in Brampton, please go and support Tracy's business, The Scented Lair, and look for her Saturdays at the Brampton Farmers Market. And if you're having trouble with your sense of smell, she's offering a free scent kit to help you test your sense of smell to get you back on track. Tracy, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Congratulations on your book. Congratulations on all of your success and the upcoming nuptials of your son. Very exciting.
Yes.
This is a great time for you. Congratulations.
I am. I'm very excited.
Yes.
you,
Congratulations.
Andrea.
And I'll see you on the weekend.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
All the best.
All right, you too. Thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you got a lot out of that. I certainly did. Learning what to look for when purchasing essential oils, learning what to look for in the different types of scents and smells out there, and knowing one of the symptoms, unfortunately, that's impacted people with COVID-19 is many have lost their sense of smell and lost their sense of taste. But Tracy's giving them hope. They can retrain their sense of smell and taste buds so they can get back that simple joy and pleasure. If you know anyone who's having trouble with their sense of smell or sense of taste, please refer them to Tracy at The Scented Lair. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Do you want to be your own boss and make
Tracy, that was very interesting.
income or extra income with flexible schedule? Welcome to Keenan Courier. Keenan Courier works as a marketplace platform connecting customers who need something delivered with drivers that are willing to serve them. Any vehicle, better trip allocation, and cash out your earnings whenever